Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Welcome.
being
Thank
with us.
you.
And today we will embark on a wonderful discussion about Gopio, Global Organization of People of Indian Origin, founded in 1989. We'll know more details about it. On that note, they have their grand convention coming on March 28th, 29th, March 30th, 2025 in Brisbane, Australia. And the convention theme is the Indian diaspora's role in shaping future technologies. The discussions will involve subjects like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and many other discussions. And as well, they have a second track of conference sessions as well about NRIs and PIOs working closer to achieve common goals, talking about diaspora women and their growing contributions in various sectors, and much, much more. A lot about Gopio youth and young achievers as well, and
Yes.
their roles in this diaspora movement. And on that note, we have with us the esteemed guests, Dr. Thomas Abraham, the chairman and founding member, founder of Gopio, that is Global Organization of People of Indian Origin from USA, and we have as well Mr. Prakash Shah, the newly elected president of Gopio from USA, and he is as well the founding members of Gopio. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful to be at the Man at Television.
Dr. Abraham, you are the founder. So as a founder of Gopio, tell me what made you initiate Gopio, and what role do you see for Gopio in this fast-growing Indian diaspora?
It so happened that the large migration of Indian took place in America in the late 60s and 70s, and the community started growing. The community itself put up it together the major founding major organization, including the Federation of Indian Associations, which does the largest India Day parade. Then we slowly graduated to look at the legislative issues in regard to the community issues as well as US-India relation. So it so happened that we formed the National Federation of Indian Association, which was a national body for all Indians in America, bringing all Indian community groups together. Then what happened in the late 80s, suddenly we saw a lot of human rights violation and civil rights violation of our people worldwide, including the countries like Guyana, Trinidad, Fiji. Apartheid was still going on in South Africa, and even in USA. There was a group called Dot Buster because they said they are going to hit upon Indians. And it was in the New York Times, and one of our person also got killed in Jersey City. And even in Europe, even in England, we were called as Pakis. So there was a lot of issues. So we thought we bring all of them together. So at that time, of course, the communication was very tough because even a telephone call to India was about $3. But then we traveled all over the places, all over the world, and brought all the people around the world to come to New York in 1989. And Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi at that time thought that's a great idea because we'll also bring in some pressure groups to, especially those countries which have human rights violation. So he was the honorary patron of the convention. We had about 3,000 people coming to Midtown Manhattan for a convention from Sunday to Sunday, 7 days. Right? People don't do convention more than 2 days.
Right.
But we had 7 days, 7 days of convention. And at the end of the convention was the emergence of, we said we need to have a network, and then we decided to form Global Organization of People of Indian Origin. And our initial thrust was looking at the human rights violation, especially our community was outside the mainstream in politics in many of the countries. So we filed cases also at the UN UN Human Rights Commission in Geneva on behalf of Indian Indo-Fijians and Indo-Sri Lankans. So, and also we worked with our community groups in many of these countries. And in 10 years, we could take care of this, our community coming in the political mainstream. Our people became president and prime ministers of many countries, including Guyana, Trinidad, Fiji. And after apartheid, our community people became senior ministers in the government. So And also it continued. Gopio gave a platform for people to come into the mainstream politics, and we can see that in the next 25 years, we worked very hard, and our community worked very hard, and we could see that we had a prime minister in Portugal, a prime minister in Ireland, a prime minister in UK, and many other countries. And currently, we have a president in Guyana. We have the president in Trinidad, in St. Helens. Of course, Trinidad had no, sorry, the Mauritius had a large Indian population. They always had a Indian prime minister or president in that. So we have come quite well in that thing. And Gopi also changed its objectives. In the beginning, human rights violation was the issue, but now it is more other things. Like, we wanted to see how our 35 million diaspora can pool our resources, financial as well as technology, and see how we can help India and countries with a larger diaspora population. And that is why we are moving forward. So we have changed our objectives also to see that we pool our resources and bring our people together to work jointly for common interests.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Uh, so, as well, Dr. Abraham, how do you see Gopio different from other organizations, per se,
Well,
FI?
yeah, well, I'll tell you the main difference is that we have chapters. We have with the globalization, it has become easy to communicate with people. But our thrust, we are telling the groups to be involved locally, participate in the local charities, help various. We during the COVID time, we replenished many food pantries. We even took in the initial stages of COVID in America, we went to big stores like Costco and brought a lot of stuff and gave it to the frontline workers because everything was closed. We also participate in charitable activities like raising funds for the uh, cancer cancer patients, those kind of things. So that has become a like every year in many chapters they raise money for the local charities also. So we are telling them that see, there are enough groups who are doing things for India's development, and then there are enough groups who are doing India Independence Day, Republic Day. We want to see more civic and community activities locally.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abraham. Throwing light about Gopio's visions and missions and how you stand out of the crowd as well. So I'm coming back to Mr. Prakash. Mr. Prakash, welcome again. You're the newly elected president, and as well, you're the CEO of Gopio for the next 2 years now. So tell me your plans.
Very good. So, as you know, Thomas has outlined this, but India's diaspora is extremely important to India.
Mhm.
It is also very important, 35 million strong all over the world, and it has gained prominence. Since our founding of Gopio, 89, considerable change. Business leaders, many leading companies have people at the helm, people of Indian origin at the helm. And we have already talked about the political leaders. So the Indian diaspora has really come into its own. And what is really needed is an organization that properly networks them and gets them to connect with each other as well as connect them back with India. And this is extremely important. It is an important role that the diaspora can play in the Viksit Bharat goal, as well as other goals. And not just the goals for India, but goals even among themselves. Their own progress and mutual development can be enhanced. And this is what we need to achieve. Now, in order to achieve this, one of our strengths for Gopio is that we have 100 chapters in 35 countries. And that is very, very good. But many of these chapters are not active. So, one of the main goals I have is to get many chapters active. And to get these chapters active, we want to work at the international level. use technology. Technologies available like Zoom calls. So we could conduct international Zoom calls and invite chapters in. So the chapters can participate internationally in activities together, and those will be important subjects. And then individual chapters can take those activities back to their own local level and expand on it. So bring in people from the chapters to participate in international Zoom, bring in audience from the chapters to participate in international Zoom, and use the technology to the fullest. I mean, we are blessed with the excellent technology that's available, and even more technology is becoming available as we go forward. And we have to be, we owe it to ourselves to use this technology to interact, to network, and get these, or get 100 chapters active. And if we are there in all the major cities of the world with 100 chapters active, you can imagine what a difference we can make. And then our people travel. Our people travel from one country to the other all the time. And this is another opportunity as our key members go from a place to place, city to city. They should always think of other Gopio members that are there in those cities and see if they can find a little bit of time to network with them, especially for business people. This is important, because out of this networking, ideas will emerge, relationships will emerge, and people of Indian origin will become like a one whole unit. A diaspora of India becomes truly a unified diaspora of India. And that is the main goal. That was always the goal of Gopio when we founded it. But I want to try to inject that in. And another major goal is to transform, bring in youth. We don't have sufficient youth in the Gopio, but I would like to bring in youth. So I want every chapter to institute a youth award every year, recognize the participation and contribution of youth in their particular chapters in their areas, and national, internationally as well. And so this way, we take youth to inspire you to get involved and interested, because tomorrow this diaspora is going to grow from 35 million to much bigger. As it grows bigger, who's going to take it forward? It has to be the younger people. And like in all organizations, and in India too, the younger generation is making such a huge difference in India. And India actually has this geographic dividend coming from the demography with such a huge youth population. Well, we too have that, because the diaspora has lots of young people, because every member of the diaspora that went abroad, they now have children, and the children, that itself is a growth factor for the diaspora. And so, just like in India, we have a demographic factor, and we need to tap that. And we need to use that. We use the technology to the fullest extent, and to activate our chapters, and to get involved with our newly formed uh, GCCI, Gopio Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Thank
Those
you.
are the goals.
Thank you so much, sir. And you're as well the founding members, as I mentioned. So, how was your association with Gopio so far?
I had a long association since '89. I was very active in US politics back in '89. And I was able to bring in some very significant um, US leadership to the convention at that time. And so our '89 convention was truly very successful, 1 week convention, supported by senior US leadership, political leaders. And so this was a very, very successful launch, as successful as one could hope for. And then over the years, we have developed. We developed gradually. But as we have developed, then what happens is that we need to keep it active. And then, so it's the problems of growth and development. When you become bigger and you spread out all over the place, then to maintain that momentum is very hard. And so this is what we need to do. We need to
Very
get
good.
rejuvenated.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We today's discussion is about the convention in Brisbane, Australia. So, give our audience some insights about it.
Okay. One thing, our young engineers and technologies are coming from India all over the world, spreading all over the world. And if you look at the total number of engineers, technologists, scientists, along with the counterpart in India, we are much bigger than even China. And when we look at that, if we put our cart very well and put our technology resources, we could be a big force in the world in terms of world development. Even in the USA right now, any technology you take, we are Indians are right there in anything, space technology, IT, whatever, quantum computing, AI, every places, and advanced materials. So we have decided that our convention will discuss about what role we can play. So the the theme of the convention is the theme is the Indian diaspora's role in shaping future technologies. So we are going to bring technologies, NRIPA or technologies from all over the world, discuss many sessions, important sessions which we will be discussed in the convention. And these include, I'll just give you uh, some of the sessions we have, which includes, as I mentioned, AI, the quantum computing, Internet of Things, nanotechnology, advanced materials, electronic and photonic devices, pharmaceutical and food supplements, medical devices, biomedical innovations, energy conversion and storage devices. That includes all these batteries and everything. So the world is changing. So we want to see what influence, what role we will play in future technologies. And the convention will be in Brisbane, Australia.
Any particular reason for having it in Brisbane, sir?
We have a very active chapter there, and Australia we have chapters in Sydney, in Cairns, Gold Coast. So we thought we haven't been there. Usually they call it down under. So we said, let us go to that part of the world. We have had conventions in many parts of the world, including London, in Germany, Stuttgart,
Paris.
and then we had a convention we had convention in Zurich, and
Paris.
then in Bahrain, then Bangalore. Whenever Pravasi Bharatiya Divas took place, we always had a convention there too. So we had traveled all over, but that part of the world we have not been. So we are having the convention. After that, some of us are traveling to Fiji with the Fijian deputy
Yeah, I was
prime
about to
minister.
ask that question. That you were traveling to, I think, Sydney, Fiji, and some
uh,
other place, right? I think
New
and
Zealand.
it's
New
like a
Zealand.
sightseeing or some
Yes, I think I'm
unwinding.
meeting communities also. The Fijian Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Biman Prasad has invited us to be there, and we will be meeting the government people. As you remember, in the beginning, at 1989 convention, we were on a collision course with Fiji at that time. But now we want to see how we can help Fiji. Fiji has a lot of opportunity for hospitality, and US has the largest number of hotels owned by Indians. So we can be a great help in terms of building their hospitality industry. So we look at all these opportunities. So we are also traveling to these places. And the many dignitaries from Australia are expected to come, including the Premier of Queensland and many other the political leaders. So it will be a great convention starting March 28th to 30th.
May I add one more thing to the technology
Please,
issue?
please, sir.
So, one of the key things about technology is not just how technology is going to develop and what
Right.
technology is going to do. It's a question of what impact it is going to have on our society.
Correct.
And one key worrisome aspect is the unemployment in this location. Not necessarily unemployment. In the end, there will be adequate employment with every technology that has come in.
Right.
There has been a disruption. So that disruption creates a dislocation And this time, the technology is coming faster. The change is coming faster than we previous times.
Mhm.
And because of that pace of technological change, we need to be concerned about the level of dislocation it will cause to our people. And what shall we do about that? Shall we just sit there as governments and people and as society? Or should we look into it and do something about it ahead of time? And for example, there are 3 million truckers in the United States. And if there is a driverless revolution, 3 million truckers, and of course, a lot of taxi drivers and others, would suddenly find themselves out of work.
Correct.
But on the other hand, there are so many companies that are going to get a big bonanza and a big cost savings. So
Right.
there is a solution. Shall we not persuade some of these companies that are getting a bonanza to provide part of their bonanza towards uh, a fund towards to alleviate this dislocation that is going to be created, this people that are going to be harmed. We need to look into that and we need to do something about it. So I think that too should be part of this discussion.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. I love that idea of addressing the unemployment issues in those areas and across the globe also for the Indian diaspora. We'll get back to some more detail. This discussion is becoming more and more juicy, as technology is involved, because I'm as well a mechanical engineer. So there are a few questions brewing in my mind for both of you. So because wherever there is technology, my mind races, faster than usual. So this question is to Dr. Abraham. Dr. Abraham, you are an expert in advanced materials, material science, and nanotechnology. So including this convention and as well outside the convention, what are your plans and objectives? And especially in the technology related sessions in the
Yeah. You know,
convention in Brisbane.
yeah, I worked one of the U.S. government lab called Brookhaven National Lab, then the University of Denver. Then later I started doing the industry technology market research in these new technologies. And my area of specialization of what you have mentioned, advanced materials, nanotechnology. From that, I'm talking about 80s onwards. So from that time onwards, I wanted to see how India can transform some of the technologies they develop in CSIR labs. There are many CSIR labs, but they do selectively the issues of the various industries they have, whether it is steel industry, copper industry, zinc, or any other thing like that, the production. They didn't develop technologies for the society. So whatever they have done, it has not come out of the lab for so many years. So from that time onwards, I got connected with a group called TIFAC that was part of Department of Science and Technology. So as early as 1992, even before India started liberalization, we took a technology delegation from the USA. We Gopio in cooperation with Science and Technology Department did a conference in Delhi, Bombay, and even Kochi. We say how we need to take the technology from lab or new technology. So I had interest from that time always, and I kept track of what's going on because I am on the top of the technology. And my own company deal with new technologies, industry technology, market research. So and even during the Pravasi, there was at my insistence on January 9th, the Pravasi, January 2009, the PBD had a full session on nanotechnology. So we need to get into new technology. That's the future. So that is why we have kept this as this time, the role of diaspora in technologies. So that also brings people networking. We also reaching out to the incubators in India. Right now, I made a trip to India and I visited the incubator at the Gujarat University. It's amazing that in last 15 years, incubators have come all over, all IITs, NITs, major engineering colleges. And we want to help them. We want to connect some NRI entrepreneurs in technologies and those who have technology themselves to connect with them so that we can bring in new technologies all over India. And that is one of the objectives of the convention. That when we bring our people, we have also invited some of the incubators also to join so that they can be part of the convention. So it's an ongoing process. This is a new beginning which we want to do, and it is all our own private non-profit initiative. No funding from the government or any place. It is all our own funding, which we trying to do to help India.
Wonderful, so wonderful. So I especially love the idea of the incubators, which is not just IITs and different technology platforms and universities, but you're trying to spread it across and make it your niche, and make it more available for people who are strapped with finances or who want to venture into their area of interest. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. Mhm.
so great initiative. Thank you so much. I'll get back to you, Mr. Prakash. We already discussed. You already spoke about the Gopio Chamber of Commerce, and you have already launched Gopio Chamber of Commerce a few years back. Tell us how are you planning to mainstream it among the diaspora, whether it is in both small and medium and large businesses as well, and especially
Yes.
small and medium businesses.
Yes, small, medium, and some not that small. But the issue here is this: the diaspora is big, 35 plus million, but the business community within that diaspora is also sizable in millions. At some estimate, about 5 million businesses all around the world. Now, this many businesses uh, have all kinds of ideas, and in technology as well as non-technology areas, the businesses especially need to network, and their networking can be beneficial to their business as well, and to the business with India. So I think this is a particularly important because businessmen do a lot of traveling, and when the businessmen travel, it is extremely important for us to have within Gopio chapters for GCCI so that people, business traveling, can have information about each other and they can contact each other and they can start to meet each other and network and learn from each other as well as develop businesses in each other's countries. For example, there are people who may want to do something in Australia from USA. If I'm exporting something or developing something or planning something, I want to do something in Australia. If I'm a technologist and I'm developing something, I may want to have a cell in India to help me develop my technology faster, at a less expensive way. So, I mean, the networking sounds simple and a concept that is always been there, but it needs to be implemented. And we want to give acceleration, Philip, to this implementation of this networking, especially in business.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Prakash. I loved this kind of discussion. Dr. Abraham and you as well. You're talking more about implementing than just
Right.
keeping their stuff in their own hub. We're actually trying to propagate. Taking action is
Yes.
the buzzword. Implementing and making things happen.
Yes.
So hearty congratulations for that, and my best wishes. For all the endeavors, both of you, and to Gopio, especially to youth and the like. So, Dr. Abraham, tell me about the convention more. We spoke
Yeah,
about technologies, getting involved. Different aspects of women in the diaspora, youth in the diaspora.
yes, yes, yes,
What about breakout sessions and
yes.
different sessions, which includes other than technology as well?
Yeah, we have a second track of conference session on March 29 that includes NRIs and PIOs working together to achieve common goals. As you know, we have fourth and fifth and sixth generation Indians in Guyana, Trinidad, Fiji, South Africa, Malaysia, Mauritius. And then a larger number is the first generation Indians who moved all over the world. So we want to find common grounds that we can work together. So it's one of the sessions. Second session is on diaspora women and their growing contributions in various sectors. So we will bring in some of the women achievers to be panelists in that one. And then we have Gopio Academic Council Roundtable. We have many Indians who have done great achievements in the academic field. Some of them are deans, vice deans, vice chancellor, pro vice chancellor. So we are bringing them including other professors for a roundtable. And then finally, we have diaspora youth and young achievers, the role they can play in the diaspora movement. As Prakash said, we want to bring diaspora youth into the whole gamut of diaspora activities. So we are going to have that. So in addition to that, we are also going to honor people who have done outstanding community service. On 29th evening at the banquet, we will be honoring them for their community service, and also those people who have done professional achievements in business, entrepreneurs, in technology, in arts and letters, performing art. So we'll be honoring them on this is the first time we are doing this one on a global scale. Although we have done locally, and community service awards, we have done it for the last 15 years. But this is a new thing which we have put it in our Gopio bylaws and constitution, that we will honor those people in professional achievement, entrepreneurship, business, and other activities. So it's going to be it is for everybody: the youth, the youngsters, the entrepreneurs, the professionals, technologies, and anybody who wants to be active and know about and get involved in the diaspora, they could join for the convention.
Wonderful, wonderful. This sounds like a great plan. I mean, very unique and definitely needed at this hour, where unemployment is growing at a faster pace. But you're trying to mitigate that with outside the box ideas and bringing the diaspora together, especially not all the 35 million, but the cream of all who are in Gopio. Thank you so much. And how about I'll come back to you, Mr. Prakash, but Dr. Abraham, tell me about you know people need entertainment also. In these conventions,
Yes.
people want some gala time, refreshments, and especially in the evenings when they're done with all the sessions, they want some recreation. So, what did you plan for that?
Yes, we have on 28th evening after the inauguration dinner, we are going to have entertainment. Most likely it will be the artists from Australia, and then also 29. So they are being planned. That's always part of the convention. Without entertainment and Indian music and dances, it is not complete. So we will have that.
Are you inviting any Bollywood celebrities or
No, not at this event. We'll
okay?
have
So,
it
but
from the
but
Australian.
but entertainment is there, and people, Australian artists and
They
eclectic
will have
artists are
offer.
going to perform.
Yeah,
Okay,
they will have
We
the
have
opportunity.
invited one comedian,
okay,
But
but we've not
yeah,
confirmed him
he
yet.
may come, but we're not sure about it. But it's all planned. It's
okay,
already being planned. Yeah.
sure,
He's a
sure,
leading comedian, is very good,
very good.
but he's
So
not confirmed his attendance yet.
definitely. So let's keep it a surprise for everybody. Whoever, at least, I mean, probably there is some stand-up comedy. So audience, stay tuned.
Sure.
And Mr. Prakash, as the newly elected president, so how are you getting involved in this convention?
Well, as you know, Thomas is doing a tremendous amount of work. I'm at this stage just being elected, so I'm a little more focused on the organizational work and getting the chapters to be active. But I'm supporting in every which way. We jointly have meetings, and we have ideas. We discuss with each other, and we are always trying to see who for the awardees, who to select for awards, who to invite, how to expand and make our convention more uh, more interesting to everybody. So I'm happy in every which way. But
Very good.
the big burden is shared by my esteemed chairman, as well as by my executive VP, who is in Australia, who's based in Brisbane. So, and he's the convention chair. So they too are taking the bulk of the load, but I'm helping out as well.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, sir. Dr. Abraham, tell me about, I think there are some award, there's an award night also. I think, is it on
Yes.
March 30th? Can you tell
Yeah,
us
we are going to.
about that?
Yeah, we're going to we are going to recognize people who, as I mentioned, in professional achievements, entrepreneurship, and business, arts and letters, performing arts on 29th night. That is our finale awards banquet.
Okay,
So
so
that will be that is the finale, the major activity, the finale event of the convention. The next day we have our Gopio general body meeting. So we will do the whole thing on Friday and Saturday.
very good. So arts per se, I think liberal arts, I guess.
Liberal arts, performing arts.
Very good. So as we are almost getting at the end of the session, uh, Dr. Abraham, tell us about what are your expectations from the convention and going forward. Planning next conventions.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this one.
Yeah, this one, see, we are going for the first time in that part of the world. Especially, we have large Indians are going to go further in New Zealand and Australia. As Prakash mentioned, that our diaspora is going to grow, and it's going to go even bigger. The thing is that right now India is the youngest country in the world. India is the only country we can provide young people to the world. There are many places in the world, the older population need to be supported by younger people who are in the workforce. And India is the only country. India is the only country which are the largest English-speaking people too. You're talking about 400 million people, the largest country in the world with the largest English-speaking population. So our community will grow. So when we go to that part of the world, especially New Zealand and Australia, the community is going to grow, and then we want to make Gopio more active in that area, especially Fiji also. We took some Fijian cases before, but we have to have active chapters there, and they are all the old PIO, older generation who moved long time back, fourth, fifth, and sixth generation. So we want them to be active in the Gopio.
Okay. Any particular reasons you're actually traveling to Sydney, New Zealand, and Fiji, sir? I mean,
Yeah, basically, we have not been to that place. Since we are going all the way from here, we thought as well go to those places too, and also meet our community. It's
And we
means
have chapters there.
mobilizing. But we want to make them more active. So mobilizing the community, network with them to make it more Gopio, more active.
very good, very good. Thank you so much. Mr. Prakash, I mean, you want to say anything before leaving, to our audience, leave your message, and enlighten them more about your work, Gopio's objectives a little bit more.
Sure. Thank you very much for your audience listening to us. This is a very exciting activity for us. We have not been to the Australia at all since our inception in '89, and so this is our first foray into that part of the world. And we have in Umesh Chandra, our executive VP, a very powerful executive who's available to us, and we have active chapters in Australia, Fiji, and New Zealand. So that's a big plus for us. But apart from that, the whole idea of Gopio becoming active and networking the entire community and bringing in youth and providing to the future generations this type of a networking organization which connects them with each other is a very exciting venture for us. We can network among ourselves. Say, people living in New Jersey can network among themselves, or people living within USA. But to network across the globe is not an easy task. But today, the technology is there to make it easy. For example, right now you are in Hyderabad, Thomas is in Connecticut, I'm sitting here in New Jersey, and Umesh Chandra, if he had joined us, he's sitting in Brisbane, Australia. And yet we're talking together and we are
Right.
talking to your audience in
Right.
India. And so that is the technology today. And
Right.
why not use technology frequently and bring people together and bring audiences together and as well as speakers together from around the globe on different topics. And there are a lot of important topics. So I think we could pick these topics of interest to people around the world and create these types of forums and then create people to people forums out of that. That would be a very, very effective way of doing it. And we want to do that.
Wonderfully said, Mr. Prakash. Thank you so much. And Dr. Abraham, as this discussion is about the convention, would you like to tell our audience, is there any website to register, or is there
Yes,
still
yes,
time to for people to show up
yes.
frequently?
The pre-registration just started. It will be ending on March 1st, and it will be Gopio Queensland website.
I mean, both of you gave a lot of information about Gopio and especially the Indian diaspora and how we can unify our people to actually spread a lot of energy across the world, especially in terms of technology, employment, and diaspora unity as well,
Thank
for
you.
men and women, youth, and otherwise. So thank you so much. And uh, Dr. Abraham, I want you to invite all our audience as well to the convention. Whoever will watch would be interested in joining and who want to become a member of Gopio as well. And give your final words to our Mana TV.
Yeah, well, we definitely like them to whoever could come, and if they are coming from India, please apply, register, and apply for the visa because the visa might take about 3 to 4 weeks. As soon as you register, you will get a official letter from the convention that you are registered, and then you can use that letter to go to the Australian consulate or embassy to get your visa. And our Gopio website is gopio.net. So anybody can reach us through that, and we look forward to have active participation. By the way, our although we are 35 million we are, people in the diaspora, and we are trying to network, we also want our diaspora to network with people in India. So we have chapters in different cities, and we would like them to join, especially those who have been NRIs and PIOs now settled in India. They have an opportunity to join, especially the like-minded people in every city. So we would like your audience to join us in the Gopio
Absolutely.
movement.
So it'll be great for everyone to go through the website that Dr. Abraham have mentioned. Have a peek at it and register and go through the missions and find out more about Gopio and how to get involved in their activities. So that's all. Thank you so much, Mr. Prakash and Dr. Abraham, for your
Thank you
time
so much.
and talking about the convention in Brisbane, Australia, on March 28th, 29th, and 30th, 2025. So, friends, that was a lovely discussion with Dr. Thomas Abraham and Mr. Prakash Shah about the convention and a lot about Gopio. Today, I really, really learned a lot more about Gopio than I knew before. Definitely, we met in the Edison Library in 2022 Gopio event, but today was a very comprehensive discussion about Gopio's objectives, missions, and its vision as well. We would love to have your questions and comments as well about this convention in Australia, Brisbane, Gopio, that is global organization of
People of Indian origin.
people of Indian origin. So
Mm.
stay tuned for more updates, and I sign off. Your favorite host, Sharat Pasmarti.